How's it going, everyone? MLT Magic Tricks here. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a performance and a tutorial for this self-working card trick that is definitely going to fool all your spectators. But before we get into it, if you are new here to the channel, make sure you subscribe with those notifications on for more card trick videos like this. And also, I want to let you guys know that the smart wallet company Exter is doing a big Black Friday sale on their website with up to 40% off all of their products. And I actually use one of Exter's products as my everyday wallet here. They have a bunch of stylish wallets on their website, so make sure you take advantage of this deal and check out the link in the description to Exter's website. But anyway, let's get right into this performance. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have noticed the card box that's on the table here. I have a piece of paper in the box with a number written on it. We will get to this later in the trick, but for now, I'm just going to give the deck a little mix-up. I'll give the cards a couple of cuts, and you guys can see here that all of the cards in this deck are completely random and shuffled together. So at this point, what I'm going to do is spread through the deck, and I'm just going to cut roughly 2 equal piles of cards here. So my spectator has a pile, and I have a pile as well. Now, I would explain to my spectator that they have roughly 20 or so cards in their pile, and I would tell them to think of a number between 1 and 20 and deal that amount of cards, stopping at their thought of number. So let's say my spectator is thinking of the number 11. They would go ahead and deal 11 cards, stopping at the 11th. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can just outjog this card right here so we can indicate it as my spectator selection. Now, this is the part of the trick where we are going to take a look at the number that I have written down on this piece of paper that's been in the card box the entire time. So the number I have written down here is 23. 23 is my lucky number for this trick, and the number 23 is very important because we are going to be dealing cards from the number 11, which is my spectators, up to the number 23 using the cards from my pile. So we have 11, and we're going to go ahead and deal 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 right here. So the 10 of hearts is going to be my selection. This is a completely random card based off of the number that my spectator freely chose earlier in the trick. Now, you will remember that my spectator also has a selection here. So check this out. All I have to do is snap my fingers over their pile. We're going to turn their pack over, and you will notice that my spectator selection is actually the soulmate to my selection. The 10 of diamonds is the soulmate to the 10 of hearts. Now, that's actually, pretty impossible in itself, but you will notice that when we spread out these cards, this is the only possible combination that could have worked because all of the cards, next to the 2 red 10s are not soulmates. They are completely random cards. So if my spectator chose any other number, this trick would not have worked. So guys, that is the trick. It's a really powerful one. So I definitely recommend you learn it. So if you want to, perform it yourself, make sure you watch the tutorial. All right, so I hope you guys liked that performance. This is a really powerful card trick that I definitely think you should add to your routine. So grab your deck of cards and let's get right into the tutorial. You are going to need a full 52 card deck for this trick to work, and you are going to need to create a little setup with the deck of cards. So you're going to be arranging the cards in this soulmate pattern here. So you will notice I have the 2 red 4s followed by the 2 black 7s and then the 2 black 10s. You are going to need to follow this pattern throughout the deck of cards, with each card opposite of one another being a soulmate, and the specific order of the cards does not matter, so you do not need to have the 2 red 4s being first. That's just how I did it. As long as you have the soulmate pattern followed throughout the deck, you are good to go. Once you create this, it only takes a couple minutes. It's really not that bad. You're going to square up each pile here, and you are going to need to decide which half of the deck is going to be your spectators and which half is going to be yours. So this half will be the spectators, and you're going to need to remember the card that's on the very bottom of their pile. So in this case, we have the Ace of Spades. I recommend just having the Ace of Spades or some other prominent card that you can easily remember be at the bottom of their pile, because this is going to be your key card. It's going to be important in one part of the trick. So we will remember the Ace of Spades there. And there's one other small part of the setup that you need to create. You need to decide on a lucky number. Now, you're going to want to have your lucky number be between 21 and 25. For the tutorial here, I will use the number 23. and you're going to take the number 27, subtract your lucky number from it to get a number, and you're going to take that amount of cards from the bottom of your pile and bring it to the top. So for our setup here, we have 27 minus 23 is 4. I'm going to take 4 cards from the bottom of my pile here, and I'm just going to simply bring them right to the top, and that's all you need to do. If your lucky number is 21, 27 minus 21 is 6. You would bring 6 cards from the bottom of your pile right to the top. That's the last part of the setup. It's very simple to do. Once you do that, place these cards directly on top of the deck, and you're good to go. Fold up your lucky number that's written on a piece of paper and just place it in the card box or something, and keep it on the table throughout the remainder of the trick so your spectator knows you cannot change your number or anything like that. At this point, you can just give the deck a few false cuts. Make sure you keep the order of cards. I'll leave a link on the screen right now to me teaching you some false cuts if you want to learn some, but they are not mandatory for this trick. From here, you can either way spread out the deck of cards to your spectator and show them the deck here. It looks completely, shuffled and random. When your spectator looks at it, they will not suspect you have a setup or anything like that, which is really great. It does look, completely randomized. You're going to square up the deck, and you're going to explain to your spectator you're going to split the deck into roughly 2 equal piles. Now, what you're doing here is spreading through the deck to yourself, and you're looking for your key card. So in this case, we had the Ace of Spades. We're going to spread through the deck until we get to the Ace of Spades here, and you're going to split the deck right at the key card. So we have the Ace of Spades. We're going to split it here, and this pile is going to be your spectators. That's what we decided on here. The top portion of the deck, that's going to be your spectators, and the bottom portion is going to be yours. You're going to keep your pile close to you, and you hand your spectator over their pile. You explain to them that you just roughly cut the deck in half so they have 20 or so cards, but in reality they have exactly 26. They are not going to know that, so you're going to ask them to think of a number between 1 and 20, and you're going to tell them to deal that amount of cards on the table, stopping at the thought of number. So they can just tell you the number out loud. It does not matter. Let's say our spectator is thinking of the number 17. Your spectator would go ahead and deal 17 cards from the top of their pile right onto the table. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And you can have them out jog their card here just so you can easily, keep track of it as their selection. So just tell them to out jog, the last card that they dealt there. In this case, it's the 17th. We have the 17th card out jogged. Keep it face down. You do not need to turn it over or anything. After your spectator has done that, you're going to introduce your lucky number into the trick. You take the piece of paper out of the card box. You show them that you've had this number in the box the entire time. It's just your lucky number 23 for this trick. At this point, you're going to explain the significance of this number and how you're going to use it in a trick. So basically what you're going to be doing is dealing cards from your pile face up until you reach the number 23 based off of your spectator's number. So their number was 17. You're going to take your pile here, and you're going to go 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So what I've just done there is I've dealt 6 cards from the top of my pile here. Make sure you're dealing your cards face up. So you can do it that way where you start dealing from the number after your spectators, or you can subtract their number from your lucky number. 23 minus 17 is 6. Either way, you're going to be dealing that amount of cards, in this case, for the trick. So this is basically a self-working trick here. So you're going to out jog the card that you ended on. You're going to place the rest of the cards on, and you can explain to your spectator that this card is completely random. It would have changed based on their number, which is completely true. So the way you set up the deck at the start of the trick allows the final effect to work here. So you can tell your spectator for the first time to turn over their pile of cards, and they will see that their selection is actually the soulmate to yours. Now, it will work every single time as long as you follow these steps correctly and do the setup right at the start. It's really cool, how this trick works. And a really cool part, what you can do at the end of this trick is show them you can spread out the cards out of your pile and have them spread out the cards of theirs, and they can take a look at the cards that are directly next to your selections, and they will see that they are not soulmates of each other. The cards got rearranged to the point where you will not actually notice the soulmates that are next to each other. So you can make the point that this trick only worked with the number that they chose, and it just adds to the end effect and makes it seem that much more impossible. So that's really cool. and then you can move on to some no setup tricks after that. You can completely mix up the deck after you're done with the trick. So I hope that made sense, guys. You know, it does require a little setup at the start, but I definitely think it's worth it. You can use this trick to open up your routine, and you'll be good to go. So definitely recommend giving this trick a try. It will fool all your spectators. They will be completely mind blown at the end. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.